Oh, you're Chinese. So you eat dog meat? Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Chili and I'm from China. If you have ever watched my previous video, you probably know that I'm a self-English learner. I created this channel mainly to practice my English speaking skills because I don't have many opportunities to use it in my daily life. If I don't do something in English, I feel it's such a waste of time, for I've been learning it for so many years. Like I don't use it for work or study. The only way for me to use it is by talking with people online in English. Despite only having basic conversations, I still have learned a lot from them. Sometimes eye-opening, sometimes ridiculous. For instance, every time I mention that I'm from China, people often ask me weird questions like, do you eat dogs? Do you use squat toilets? Or do you really wash rice many times before cooking it? The first one in particular is the most common one asked by almost every person I meet online. If I made a short TikTok video about it just for fun. So today, as my second video here on YouTube, I wanted to talk about this seriously. First of all, I don't eat dog meat, and neither do people in my circle. It's not available in local markets where I live. But I know that in some parts of China, dog meat is considered a part of their tradition, with specific events like Dog Meat Festival. However, this isn't common everywhere in the country. It's a huge country, and at the same time, I personally don't mind if people eat dog meat or not. But I understand why some individuals are sensitive to the idea. I don't have a pet dog. My companion is a monk parrot. See, and I respect others' viewpoint on this matter. Of course, I don't recommend eat dog meat either. This is my fundamental thoughts about this issue. So what I really wanted to say is I feel confused as to why people are care about whether Chinese people eat dogs or not, and keep asking every Chinese they know, where did these stereotypic images come from in the first place? If you search for dog meat on the wiki page, it says in the 21st century, dog meat is consumed to a limited extent in Korea, China, Indonesia, Nigeria, Switzerland, Vietnam, and India, and it is eaten or is legal to be eaten in other countries throughout the world. Of course, I know that some of these countries have banned or are going to ban dog meat, but we can't deny that there are still other countries where people eat dog meat. Do you keep asking them this question too? When I searched for China and dog meat on YouTube, the results were shocking. There's a massive number of videos addressing this issue, and they all have millions or even tens of millions of views. The content is very provocative and suggestive. Perhaps I can now understand the reason behind it. What's more, I have always been confused about why this is considered a problem. I mean, as I mentioned, I don't mind whether people choose to eat dog or not. You might argue that dogs are companion animals and slaughtering lives is cruel. Yeah, I agree with this viewpoint. However, the issue is that dog meat is not the only unconventional food in the world. For example, without even mentioning cows, pigs, and chickens, Australians eat kangaroos and even use kangaroos' balls as gifts. Something that seems inconceivable to me. In Peru, they consume cabaya, animals that are considered as pets here. I even had one as a pet before. Additionally, the French eat foie gras and snails. Foie gras is essentially a piece of fat, and to ensure it's fatty enough, dogs are often forced to feed in a cruel manner. Despite that, it's presented beautifully and sold at a high price, seen as a fancy and luxury food. Why is there never the same level of scrutiny towards these practices? Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to create conflicts or compare countries in terms of cruelty. I was just feeling confused because I'm sure they haven't faced the same level of scrutiny, leading to a negative impression of the entire country. Additionally, the grazing industry is essential for modern society. and we cannot eliminate it in one night. Whether we like it or not, we still heavily depend on this industry both economically and physically. And consider this, China has a population of 1.4 billion, where encompasses meat eaters, non-meat eaters, those who care, those who don't, supporters and non-supporters, and etc., with each viewpoint representing millions of people. In videos with millions or tens of millions of views, there are also Chinese individuals advocating for dogs or animal rights. However, why is it that in the end, the consumption of dog meat is deeply tied to Chinese people? Meanwhile, when introduce in other countries that consume dog meat, there is no deep association with the people of that particular country. Therefore, I found it logically inconsistent, leading to me to reasonably suspect that someone, for certain purpose, intentionally uses this topic to verify Chinese people, portraying China as an uncivilian or barbaric place. The reality is far from that. As I said, it's not a widespread in the country. This kind of portrayal can actually hurt people who truly care about animal rights, no matter where they are from. And I think that's just not fair to them. Anyway, no matter how our goal is to solve the problem, not only argue with people online, it only makes new conflict and hatred. This is not the way we should make this world a better place. So my idea to solve this problem is to introduce and push for more humane farming practices. And more importantly, I think the best way to respect lives is not to waste any food, especially animal products. We should appreciate their sacrifice as energy, and I believe we will give back this energy to nature as soon as we die. Actually, what I really wanted to say is that forming an inherent impression of a place is quite easy. For example, in this matter, even as someone considered an insider, I cannot see the whole picture. What I can tell you is only based on my limited experience and perception. However, this country has a population of 1.4 billion. Again, and I cannot present everyone. For some phenomena in my own country, I also needed to do a lot of investigation and research. Moreover, these materials mainly come from the internet, and I cannot verify each one or find the resources. I don't know who or why these pieces of information were released. If they are wrong and I've mistakenly quoted them, it could lead to disaster. Whether or not to eat dog meat is just a trivial matter. If it involves a person's fate and crucial life choices, such information could become key to influencing our entire lives. Our lives and time are limited. If it weren't being asked for so many times, and I want to discuss this topic, I won't spend the time searching for related contents. As I mentioned, I personally don't eat dog meat, and I don't care if others do. It's not that I lack of sympathy. It's just that there were too many people and things in the world that need sympathy. Every day I'm bogged down with work and life's little problems, worrying about how to pay my bills next month. So who is gonna pity me? And what qualifications do I have to pity others and dictate their choices? In this age of information explosion, we are easily influenced by various topics. Therefore, I believe we should remain vigilant, maintain a sense of doubt, so as not to be manipulated by those with ulterior motives. When faced with things that truly require our own resolution, we can also make better choices. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention my only experience of eating dog meat. It was decades ago when I was very young. I was born in a small town in China, and our family was not well off. The economic situation in China at that time was not great either. Our usual food consisted mainly of vegetables, rice, and noodles. Meat was a luxury only to be enjoyed during festives or special occasions. Even instant noodles were considered a luxury back then. In our hometown, dogs were mostly kept for garden purposes rather than pets. They were not raised for consumption, but if a dog died, it would often be eaten or sold, and a new puppy would be bought with that money. My father once bought such a dog. Initially, I didn't know it was dog meat and ate one. I just found the taste strange. something I had never eaten before. It was only later that my father told me it was dog meat. I really don't like that taste, and I haven't had a similar memory since. So there's another situation I wanted to mention. When people are starving, they don't have the luxury to consider anything else but survival. There are countries on this earth where people earn less than 1,000 a year. It's unfair and naive for someone in a privileged position to judge those struggling to meet basic needs. When people are in such dire circumstances, they don't have the mindset or time to think about anything else excepting staying alive. I want to emphasize that prejudice and hate doesn't help animals or those in need. Now, China's GDP is the second highest globally, and our lives are not as difficult as they were when I was a child. I can buy whatever I want to eat anytime, and food is no longer a source of distress. Our younger generation has more energy and time to focus on different moral standards and is willing to accept international norms. However, it doesn't mean anyone has a right to force others to accept their beliefs. This is not only fails to solve problems, but also creates more conflicts. Recent events and history have taught me this lesson. So, this is just my perspective. If you have a different opinion, feel free to leave a friendly comment. I hope you can understand my bad writing and speaking. If I made any mistakes that confused you, please correct me and share your thoughts. So this is today's video. Until next time, stay safe, stay positive, and peace. Bye, down.